It would seem that Katt Williams's prediction on the Club Shay Shay podcast has come true.
Gil, I mean, I remember walking out and CJ, the producer of the show, he's like, Shannon, this is gonna blow up the internet. I said, you think so? I said, I think it was good. He's like, no, you haven't done anything like this.
That is an understatement. Let's talk about it. Now, I had no intention on doing this video. Zero intention. But it kept coming up across my various news feeds, this Katt Williams interview. And I have seen segments, I've seen clips of it. But I refused to watch the entire video because, well, the entire interview, because Katt Williams saying outlandish, bringing up and throwing out top tier names is nothing new. But I understand that in this recency bias culture, that this is all the rave, that this is all the rage. I get it, but it's not new. Katt Williams has done this before. But what finally made me do a video on it was some of the headlines. The headlines being, Katt Williams exposes Hollywood. Oh, he exposed blankety blank, insert name here. He called out insert name here. Again, it's not new. But it was the implication of these headlines, many of them implying that Katt Williams is speaking the truth, that he has all the answers, that he is the holder of the tome of knowledge, and everything that he says is gospel. That's what a lot of these headlines imply. And when I saw that, it really struck a chord within me, and not in a good way. But it is one of the foundational reasons that this channel was started, to bring balance, to bring an even keel, some perspective to various conversations. That's why Free Mind Thinkers was started. In preparation to do this, I came across another comedian that I'm going to play at the end of this video, who expresses himself exactly how I feel. Exactly. I'm going to hit on some of those same points, and you're going to see another like mind and a comedian in that same space share my exact same thoughts and feelings on this matter. But let me get into some of the pushback. Let me give some of the counter argument to some of the things that Katt Williams said. And not necessarily the exact things of what he said, but I want to get more into the root of why they're being said now, and in particular, the messenger. So let's do it this way. The first thing that I want to speak on is Katt Williams calling out Kevin Hart. Take a listen.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like,
so what he's saying there is that that's a lot to ingest right there. It really is. The first thing being, that Kevin Hart doesn't sell out shows, that he doesn't have lines wrapped around the building. If you actually own or have seen his movie, Let Me Explain, you see what a global phenomenon Kevin Hart is. He sold out Madison Square Garden. Fact. He sold out arenas in European countries. Fact. So to say that you don't ever heard of, nobody's ever said they went to a sold out Kevin Hart show?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And then to say that every movie that was on his desk is something that he turned down and they gave to Kevin Hart. That is probably true. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a clip in a moment where Kevin Hart says as much. But one of the things that he said in that was that the whole step and fetch it. Now, for those of you not in the black culture, not in the know, not in the history of it, even black people that may not know the history of it, Step and Fetch It was an actor whose name was Lincoln Perry. He was an old vaudeville performer. Go look up what vaudeville was. I'm not going to go into all that now. Damn. I'm not going to do all this work for you. Now, as time progressed, that was looked upon as a very negative thing. Step and Fetch It was looked at as the stereotypical Negro. He portrayed all the stereotypical Negro things in Hollywood films. So he was negatively looked upon. And it's only over the last 20 years or so that history is taking a deeper look into that character. Because as there have been some African American scholars now look at Mr. Perry and say that the Step and Fetch It persona, the whole simple-minded Negro character he played in a lot of his films, was just a thing called putting on massa, which, as history has explained to us, is a very old slave trick of how the slaves stayed in the master's good graces. How they wouldn't get beat as much. They did what they needed to do to seem to capitulate it and to appease massa. That's how you got house Negroes. They did a thing called putting on massa. It was a bit of a scam. You did what you had to do. So now Step and Fetch It is being looked upon as, okay, he did what he needed to do to remain in Hollywood, get top billing, and he fought for top billing. He had to fight for top billing. So what Katt Williams is saying is, what I'm taking from it is that he wanted some of the Step and Fetch It stuff taken out. And he said that the studios would tell him okay, and they take the script and then go give it to Kevin Hart. Now, as I'm thinking, because I've seen a lot of Kevin Hart's movies, half of them crap, half of them entertaining, I don't remember a Step and Fetch It type character. I don't remember Kevin Hart ever playing a stereotypical Negro character. Excuse me. Let me say it for y'all people who don't understand. I have never seen a movie where Kevin Hart played a stereotypical. If you have, please let me know down in the comments, because I have not seen it. I simply have not seen it. Now, with that part being said, then he went from Step and Fetch It to, referring to Katt Williams' interview here, he went from Step and Fetch It to being overtly homosexual. I say again, can anyone tell me what homosexual roles or what gay scenarios, what overtly gay scenarios Kevin Hart was put in movies? I'm thinking to Jumanji, to what's the movie he did with Ice Cube? Right Along. I'm thinking Soul Plane. I'm not reflecting on movies, because wasn't he in the Matthew McConaughey movie I think it was Sahara. No, it was Fool's Gold. So what Katt Williams is saying is being proven false. Now that I'm able to think and reflect and research and find out that the statements he's saying are false, now I got to think about why would he say it. And I have to think about, is he saying it now to gain relevance, to gain popularity? Because as the video I'm going to play at the end of this will reiterate, sadly, black folks love drama. And we love to believe the negative of anything and anyone. We do. We love to see it. We love to see negativity. We love the drama. And especially if it's somebody that you don't like, oh man. And don't make any mistake about it. For as popular as Kevin Hart is, people hate him because he became popular. I mean, hell, in that same interview, Katt Williams essentially takes credit for the success of Wildin' Out.
So what I did in Wildin' Out was to be his protector and to be his voice with hip hop. So the whole thing was, the thing that he was trying to do had never been done before. You can't bring 6 comics in and let 6 comics talk shit about 6 rappers, because the 6 rappers will beat the 6 comics' ass.
Right.
You would have to have a comic that could actually stand in between and go, look, we comics, we gonna say what we gonna say, y'all gonna take it and understand it's a joke. If you want to fight, we fight before the show. So you can go out there with your black eye. We're not going to do it comedically. This is what needed to take place in order for it to be successful, which is why it had already aired and didn't work. And then suddenly when it comes back with me, it suddenly works.
Now, I'm sure that may be a shock to Nick Cannon, but the one thing that y'all can see in this, the one thread of truth that strings through all of this, is he's taking credit for so much. For so much. And he hates when other comedians get popular. If you don't believe me, remember when, or if you didn't know, there was a time where Katt Williams came after Tiffany Haddish as she was blowing up. I'm going to post a video now from, I think it may have been 2018, 2019, right after Katt Williams attacked Tiffany Haddish, when Tiffany and Kevin Hart were on the Breakfast Club. Check this out.
I'm going to bring up the people that Katt Williams named. Little Rel, Gerard Carmichael, Hannibal Buress, myself, Tiffany Haddish.
Correct.
Little Rel is seeing so much success after doing his special Relevant. He went on to do Get Out. He now has a show that he's producing and starring in on Fox. Gerard Carmichael had his own show that he starred, wrote, produced. Gerard Carmichael was on to his second special. Hannibal Buress saw success within comedy specials and is now doing various movies where he's getting the opportunity to have features and to have a presence. Me, Kevin Hart, the guy that sits on top right now, have taken advantage of all the money that I have. I've shot over 56 specials for the up-and-coming generation of comedy. Why? Because I'm trying to create opportunities for others. So rather than complaining about it, I'm fixing it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I also take full responsibility for any and everything that I've done in the fucking business, good or bad. My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish, doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian, and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lunel. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so fucking far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a fucking boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities that I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You fuck you.
It would just seem to me that Katt Williams pissed away his career. And now that other people that he was in league with, was on the stage at the same time with, start blowing up as he fell off, he seems to be bitter and attacking them as such. Now it's amazing how something that was said 5 years ago is dead on accurate right now, because Katt Williams, to my knowledge, never addressed that. Now, he has made mention that drug addicts scared him straight, but he never denied, hey, I never did dope, I didn't fall off. Kevin Hart, an insider in the business as well as Katt Williams, tells you what happened with Katt Williams. And what he says more lines up about Katt Williams than what Katt Williams said about Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart gave Katt Williams all the props, and he was right. He was dead on right. How many times or how often did we see Katt Williams on everything at the peak of his fame? He did the Friday movies. He was on Wild 'N Out. He did a voice on the Boondocks animated show, which, pause right here, he talked about not doing stereotypical things, yet he played a pimp in Ice Cube's Friday series and on the Boondocks show. But you know, stereotypical is beneath him.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
So again, now you have to question, as I said, the messenger. Dude, why? Now, I'm all about being fair. Like I said, balance. There was something that was said that is very, very true. And in that interview, he talked about Cedric the Entertainer stealing a joke of his for the original Kings of Comedy that Katt Williams had done previously.
Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke?
Yeah.
He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Right, so he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
There is video of that I'm going to post it right here. That way y'all can see it. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know how YouTube is going to feel about that. But here is the video side by side. You can see where, yeah, he took Katt's joke. And I'm a fan of Say It. Say It, you're wrong for that. It's plain to see. Please look it up for yourself on YouTube and you'll see even the lines are the same. So that's what that is. He did go as a kernel of truth in that ranting. It's just sad to see that Katt Williams is at this place now. Because when he was on top of the ladder, when he was on top of the pyramid, when he was the creme de la creme, how much bitching about Hollywood did you hear? How much complaining about the inner workings did you hear? How much bitching about Cedric the Entertainer stealing a joke did you hear? And that was legitimate. He could have made that comment and said that when he was at the peak of his fame and actually garnered more attention. But he chose not to. So now it all looks and appears to be sour grapes. The point of this whole thing was this. Don't believe all that headline porn nonsense that you see. You may see lines like Kevin Hart's fans turning on him. Anybody who reads or regularly keeps up with the entertainment world, we've all heard stories about the Illuminati and all these deals you must make to be super successful in Hollywood and all these backdoor dealings and all this, that, and the other. Hell, Terry Crews himself talked about how he was came on to. So you didn't expose anything. We know about it. It's not new. Some of the debauchery that goes on in Hollywood. Now, where I disagree with that is to say that everybody has to sell their soul to make it big in Hollywood. That I don't agree with. Because you have a lot of people who may be of Hollywood but not in Hollywood. You have a lot of people that got the hell out of Hollywood because of that very reason. Mark Wahlberg most recently. Because they saw the debauchery that Hollywood is. Now, as I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to play this video by Aries Spears. And he puts it together best. Exactly what I said, just in a bit more of a condensed version. So I'm going to end it with the Aries Spears response, his thoughts and his feelings on the Katt Williams interview. Take it easy.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Aries Spears here. You know, a lot of people have been asking me on the Instagram about my thoughts on the Katt Williams situation, and he did mention me, which was a head scratcher because I don't know what I did to him. And, you know, I was going to save this for my podcast, but I might as well kind of get into it now. And basically, I'm going to repeat the same thing on my podcast. And, you know, again, people ask me what I thought about it. And I'm going to say this. You know, I think it's sad. It saddens me to know that my people, the people I love, black people, as well as everybody else, but my people come first, black people, we love drama. We love drama. We stew in it. We love it so much that we allow it to be detrimental to the progress of us and a culture. We absolutely love it. Because I'm asking myself, why did he do something that was both unnecessary and absolutely pointless? And in reading the comments, you know, it's I can tell we love drama by the shit we say, you know. Protect Katt at all costs. We gotta protect Katt. He the GOAT. He the GOAT. And I want to address both those things. All right, number one, the GOAT thing is a useless title. Every comedian, every entertainer, every performer is the GOAT to their fan base. Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer are the GOATs to their fan base. Wanda Sykes, everybody he called out, Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Chris Tucker, they're all GOATs to their fan base. I get called a GOAT and a legend all the time. If you think I'm tooting my own horn, look at my comedy clips. Go through the comments. Aries, you a GOAT. You a legend. While that's flattering, it's a useless title. There can only be one GOAT, and his name was Richard fucking Pryor. Yeah, I remember one of my favorite things to watch was the 30 for 30 with Shaq on ESPN when he was playing for the Orlando Magic. And in his younger days, he goes, when people would ask me whose team is it, when you're in your 20s, you care about shit like that. I had to let people know it was my team. But as I got older, I realized that's a useless title because the ultimate goal was to win a championship. So as far as y'all saying who the GOAT is, Katt is your GOAT. I understand that. But that's a useless title. Then you say things like, we got to protect Katt at all costs. Protect him at all costs. Did he cure cancer? Did he cure AIDS? Did he end racism? Did he figure out black poverty? Turn the fucking volume down. Protect Katt at all costs. Knock it off. Keep it in perspective. This is a news cycle. That's all this is. It's a news cycle. This ain't curing cancer. This ain't nothing to protect nobody about. Oh, he shook up Hollywood. He exposed Hollywood. Ooh, he told the truth. Again, to me, this is pointless. What did he do? What did he change? He didn't change anything. Steve Harvey is still going to be Steve Harvey. The success, the fame, the money, the momentum, the adulation, the respect, the adoration from the fans is still going to all be there. Same thing with Cedric. Same thing with Chris Tucker. Same thing with Ludacris. Same thing with Rhonda Sykes. Same thing with me. Same thing with Ricky Smiley. Everybody that he named will still go on. Nothing has changed. All right? This wasn't life or world changing. It's a news cycle. And it's funny because this is why I say social media is both a blessing and a curse and dangerous. This phone, this device gives everybody a platform. Everybody gets to be heard, which is power. And everybody don't deserve power. I'm reading some of the comments about Kevin, and I'm reading stupid shit like, oh man, Kevin's fan base is turning on him now. Katt done made it so his fan base is turning on him now. Kevin ain't never been funny. He ain't funnier than Katt. Well, first of all of that is subjective. Secondly, the people are saying that Kevin ain't funny or he ain't funnier than Katt were never Kevin Hart fans to begin with. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Hart is a global phenomenon. He's globally famous. He can go anywhere in the world and sell out a whole arena or stadium by himself. The box office movie receipts don't lie. The tickets, the receipts at the ticket gate that you go through when you go to the arena sold out, don't lie. So for all these people that think that Katt has turned the world on its axis about Kevin, knock it off. Turn the volume down.